Can you share some quick strategy hacks like the catch-all? I don't want to say it's guaranteed to print money and guaranteed to work, but if there was a campaign type that was more guaranteed to work, I would say it's a catch-all. Catch-all auto campaign, have all the targeting types active. You don't have to pause any of those. Put a low bid. Low bid is relative to the account, but typically speaking, you're looking at like 25 cents, sometimes 15 cents. And then you put your entire product catalog into that campaign and you let it run. And I would put a lower initial budget on that. That's typically what we do. Now, sometimes you start out with like $50 a day budget, but you can start out with a $15 to $20 a day budget. Most likely it will start to outpace that and spend. Optimizations to be done here. You still want to add negatives. So you still want to look at those and see if there's search terms that have a ton of clicks and no orders. Or you also do want to look at the products being advertised. And like sometimes you can treat those as like if you get a ton of clicks and no orders on a specific product line, you want to make sure that you are pausing those in this campaign. But other than that, you kind of just let it run. Now, the one thing to be very careful of here is you don't want to increase the bids much or at all. Now, if you are in like a higher cost per click category, say supplements, where the average cost per click is very likely something like $4, then here you might say like, okay, maybe I'll increase bids to like 75 cents or something, which is still low. When I ever say low bid, that what I'm counting as a low bid is going to be relative to what the average cost per click is in your category. And then in terms of like other strategies like this one, we have seen that low bid single keyword broad match campaign for some of our top keywords. So the ones that we're like converting really on. In Amazon advertising, if I could give you like a blanket strategy that applies to most everything, I would say Amazon ads and strategy is a game of determining what is working well, how do I do more of that, and then what is not working as well, how do I do less of that. And so to do more, you basically look at, again, what is converting. So what keywords are converting, what ad types are converting, what match types are converting, and say, how do I do more of this? So in the example of say that there's a keyword that's converting really well, maybe an exact match or somewhere else, you could say, hey, let's find long tail variations of this, which broad match is a really good way to do that. Again, you want to keep the bids lower here, and you also want to make sure that you put a cap on those bid increases, because I'm not a huge fan of going super aggressive with broad match. There is a tendency to have a bunch of wasted spend if you're being too aggressive with broad match, favor of the match type, or you can do like single keyword phrase match if you want to as well. I was trying to think, well, actually AMC audiences attached to a auto campaign do work really, really well as well. Amazon has the ability to, like, they've released pre-built audiences. So if you don't have an instance, because you don't say have like access to an agency or someone who can create an AMC instance for you, you can build audiences. And in that case, what we have seen is that audiences who have added the product to cart but then have not purchased make really good attachments. So what we do is we are launching new auto campaigns specifically with these AMC audiences, again, for shoppers who have added the products to cart but then haven't purchased. And then you want to put a moderate placement percentage increase on those one. I believe we're starting them somewhere between 25 or 40% increases on those. And those for most of our accounts have been working really well. That's kind of where we started with AMC audiences and ads, and it works so well. I'm maybe a huge believer, and then we've been digging more and more into that data. The best custom ad strategy is going to be one that takes a look at the brand goals. So what is the brand trying to achieve? Is there a specific growth? Is it a specific profit dollar? Identifying the products that are most likely to have the biggest impact on that goal. Oftentimes these are the top products, but sometimes you can find, in terms of other strategies, I really like a catch-all campaign to help identify new potential products to push. That's a fantastic one. So oftentimes in your traditional catch-all campaigns, which again is simply an auto campaign where you add your entire catalog, most often the products that are served the most in those campaigns are typically your best sellers. And that's very common. And to be honest, that's fine. But what you can do is you can create another catch-all auto campaign. I would name it something else. So it's the same strategy of low bid auto campaigns, multiple products. But what you do there is you don't add your top products to that, and you simply add sort of that mid catalog. It's the products that are like, yeah, the conversion rate's all right. I really would like to see if I can push ads on these products, but I don't really want to put like a full launch budget behind it because that gets expensive really quickly. And so this allows you, what you could do is you could just launch them in a catch-all campaign, and then you then go back, analyze the products that are being advertised underneath that campaign and say, hey, is there any of these other products that are doing really well? And then you can then move them or start launching specific campaigns for those.